welcome into your March the 6th edition of In the Know here on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose via the K105 and WMTL app. On K105, the radio station. We are on SoundCloud, we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, and we're also streaming live via K105 Digital Productions. It's Sam Gormley in for MB again today. We got another big show planned for you, plenty to get to. So why waste any more time? And let's just go ahead and bring in our first co-host of the day. Joining me, it's Christy. Good morning, Christy. How are we doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
I'm glad that we've gotten this to work today.
I know, right?
A little bit smoother, right?
It is. It is a little bit smoother, yes.
How you doing?
I am doing well.
I know that, in fact, now that I'm hearing it as well, it probably is important to say this is just a tornado siren test as well. If you're hearing it right now locally, it is just the test. It's that first Wednesday. It's the statewide test. So if you're hearing it locally, don't worry. Everything is okay. Next time you cut yourself in the kitchen, here's a life hack for you. I don't know if you have something to stop the bleeding. Reach for the black pepper. Run cold water over the wound to clean it, using soap if you are handling meat. Then sprinkle on the pepper and apply pressure. In no time, the bleeding will stop. Turns out black pepper has properties in it that will help that heal, and it will not sting either.
Interesting. Well, that's good to know.
I had never heard that, but I at least found it interesting. I'm not sure that I'm necessarily going to start, cranking black pepper the next time I cut myself. But hey, you never know what it might come to. And now to bring in our second guest co-host of the day, sitting in the same room as Christy, it's Whitney Carmen. Good morning, Whitney. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm not too bad. It's good to see you. I haven't been on with you in
forever.
I know. And I hate it that now that it's not in the same building, it's not like we even get the, hey,
Hey, what's up? I know usually I'll say hi, how's it going?
Yep, good.
Usually
great.
catch up about some sports,
Yep,
but
something about, we'll talk Breck or Grayson or so on.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Breck, is that tomorrow, the boys?
The boys play Thursday evening, and the girls play on Friday evening, I think against Owensboro.
You are correct in that. That one I do know. I think boys play Ohio County, if my memory's right, on Thursday.
I think you're right. Yeah, I kept thinking it was Butler, but it's Ohio
Yes,
County.
I do know Butler plays Davis, so that one I do
Yes.
know. I think they would potentially play Butler-Davis in that second round. Which of life's hassles do you feel is the most unlucky?
Unlucky hassles. It depends on the day.
A new study says losing stuff tops a new listing, followed by stepping in dog,
Oh.
That's That's an unfortunate day.
spilling food on clean clothing. And it always happens at like 9 a.m. too. It can never happen at
course.
4:30. Traffic lights always turning red when you approach them. That one gets me. Flat tire, and then tripping in public. To me, a flat tire is like its own category because that's not only just because, the rest of these, like if we're being, stepping in the dog, you could just get some soap and water and clean that off. A flat tire is that's not a soap and water fix, I guess is the best
it's not.
way. That's the best way to describe
I think that's more than a hassle.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's more than a hassle.
Like traffic lights. Is it very annoying when they turn red? Yes. But is it, is it going to cost you
true hassle?
$800
Right.
later? No.
Yeah.
No.
Mine is getting behind someone slow when I'm in a hurry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That's a hassle for me.
Or, even this time of year, you get caught behind the school bus.
Yes. Which
And-
I try not to get too frustrated about that because, they've got to get kids
Yeah,
to school.
no,
So
and-
I understand that. But it's just kind of unfortunate.
Yes.
If
It's
you
just
will.
one of those things. It's like, oh, those darn kids, right? They just have to get to school, right?
That's right.
Widespread rain showers push out of the region this afternoon, leaving behind cloudy skies and areas of drizzle. Highs today will max out in the upper 50s and the low 60s. Overcast skies and pockets of drizzle remain in the forecast tonight. Temperatures slide into the 40s by Thursday morning. Stubborn clouds will stay with us on Thursday. However, drier weather is in the forecast. Highs will climb back into the upper 50s and the low 60s, and rain showers will push through the region overnight Thursday into Friday morning. Weekend's going to be cooler with highs in the 40s and the 50s here between the lakes locally. So that warm weather that we got to start the week is not necessarily going to be here for the coming weekend, which is very disappointing.
It's unfortunate for me. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Are you
ready
gonna
for
be
some
at the ballpark?
sunshine. And no, I was unlucky enough to play adult league softball last weekend, so I was out in the nasty weather, which is why I sound like I do this week. And we have leadoff dinner, and there's a lot of things going on, but they're all indoors on this weekend, so that's good.
At least that makes
Yeah.
things a little bit better. A couple of news headlines to bring you. Biden and Trump dominated yesterday, Super Tuesday. And other surprising news that water's wet, I guess. I mean, I don't think anybody was really surprised by this.
I don't think anybody was surprised at all.
The victories from coast to coast, including California and Texas, left little doubt about the trajectory. Nikki Haley did win Vermont, denying Trump a full sweep, but he carried other states and so on. Haley announced just a few minutes ago before we came on that she is suspending her campaign, it sounds like. The only contest that Biden lost was the Democratic caucus in American Samoa. And
I saw something about that. Yeah.
Jason Palmer beat him 51 votes to 40.
Wow. Does anybody even know who that is?
No, he's a previously
obviously
unknown
Samoans do.
candidate. If I was good at my
Wow.
job, I would have discovered something about Jason Palmer.
Same.
But if we're being honest, Jason Palmer, we could invite him on the show today, and I don't think anybody would know who he was.
No, it doesn't sound like that. But it is interesting to see that he won that area. But I don't think it's any surprise that Nikki Haley suspended or that the other two won. So
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to see 77-year-old Trump against 81-year-old Biden coming up, just like everyone wanted. I'm Googling here. Okay, I'm looking at Jason Palmer. He seems like he's a nice enough fella.
yeah, well, I thought it was interesting too. I had read that Biden did not give he's the first time that's ever been a speech that's not been given after he won. I don't know. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, he just released a statement. I think his idea was.
Okay,
I
he
think
didn't.
It was
He didn't
kind of
actually give a speech.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like. My philosophy, anyway, with politicians is they give too many speeches, anyways. Like, do we really need to hear from you every
I agree.
single moment of every single day?
I agree.
Couple of news headlines closer to home. We want to give a special message as well from our new friends at Hometown Hangout, which is one of the new spots in town that I'm really excited to get to try. That's the new restaurant that's opening right there across from, I guess, from 5 Star there in the center of town. I've driven past it a couple of times, and it looks awesome.
I can't wait.
They wanted you to know, the public, that you might be aware that they attempted to open on Monday, but because of a software system not working properly, they weren't able to give the best guest appearance that they feel like the public deserves and they will come to be known for. They apologized for the delay, but they said it's just going to take a little bit longer. They're going to get some of those things worked out, and they tell you to stay tuned because it's still coming. It's just going to take a little bit longer to get some of the technology, and I think we all can relate to technology not being our friends, and I, for one, am very excited to get the opportunity to try this here very soon.
Well, and I think it also speaks to the level of which they intend to operate at. So, or
Yeah,
at least it does to me.
Right.
Yes.
Anybody that has ever done any sort of opening of anything, whether it be a business, especially a restaurant, that's a big undertaking anyway. So you're
Yes.
going to not be perfect 100%, but I do think that that's good on them for realizing that they've got some issues they need to work out.
I know the restaurant I worked at growing up, I was a part of the first staff. So when we opened it, and it is a definite adjustment, and it's very difficult to go with. So definitely props to them for knowing it, and I'm excited to get to try it when it comes out. I didn't get the chance to get over there on Monday, so hopefully we'll get that opportunity very, very soon. So Hometown Hangout, that's the new restaurant that's going to be opening up in town. Menu looks good, so I'm really excited to get the opportunity here very soon. A couple of the other news headlines. A Grayson County man has been indicted for stealing a car in Millwood. This happened in late December. Jerry Whitehead allegedly stole a Chevrolet Spark from a Millwood home. Sergeant Eric Franklin from the Grayson County Sheriff's Office was the lead investigator, took a report. He alerted OnStar. 2 hours later, Breckenridge County deputies determined that the vehicle was parked at a restaurant on Lehman Road in Harned. Upon arriving at the scene, deputies encountered Whitehead inside the stolen vehicle, and I guess in that realm you could say he was caught red-handed. He said, it probably is you. Was arrested, charged, and earlier this month he was indicted on that charge by a Breckenridge County grand jury.
I'm trying to figure out where Lehman Road in Harnett is. A restaurant, and I'm gonna have to Google that.
Give it a Google.
It's probably one that I was gonna say. It's
You're our
probably one that I'm
Breckenridge County
familiar
expert.
with. Well, but I don't do road signs or road names. I just like, hey, go to this place.
And see, I'm really bad
Me
here
too.
locally. Is Mark is big on the 749 or 1817 or.
Yes.
And he'll be like, yeah, did you go down 1844 and then travel across 78 and then, and I'm like,
I
it's
shake my
just-
head.
I'm like, is that the one that goes to Whitesville? Is that the one that goes to Harnett? Like that's, and I'm good with directions. it's
Which
just the
way are we
numbers.
going?
Yes.
Yes.
The main ones are like 259.
I know that
and,
one. You've got
60, Highway 60,
62.
62, 54,
Yep. And 79. isn't that-
88.
79. But they all, at some point in time, they're all together at one point. So yeah, it's.
It's
I'm just like, hey, go down here and turn right at this road, at this light, or at this, at this gas station.
yes, and I think Grayson Springs, even the bypass has like I think technically a numerical term, but I think everyone just says that's
where it's
bypass.
at.
Yep. The Litchfield Police Department recently underwent a safety and liability review by an outside law enforcement expert. The review, mandated and sponsored by the Kentucky League of Cities, takes place every 3 years, and this year was conducted by John Clark, who is a law enforcement consultant. Clark at Monday night's Litchfield City Council meeting said he recently completed a comprehensive look at the agency's leadership, training, policies, and best practices. Along with Chief David Riley and his executive staff, Clark took a comprehensive look at how the Litchfield Police Department handles those areas and handles their business. He said that we looked at things that get officers hurt, that get officers in more departments and cities sued as well. He requires the examination of over 60 areas of operations, including how officers drive and so on and everything that goes along with that. He praised the LPD's department for the first time ever received a perfect score. He says that they have high standards on these reviews as they keep moving the bar forward so that departments can keep getting better and better. But for the first time, the Litchfield Police Department has just demonstrated a 100% score, meeting or beating industry standards in every area that was measured. So good for them.
Good for them. Yeah.
The perfect score has a financial benefit as well, according to Clark, as the city will receive a discount on insurance premiums for law enforcement
that's great.
coverage. And hey, insurance that
Yeah.
can get
Any
pricey.
kind of discount.
That is great.
I was going to say, I don't know about you all, but insurance is not cheap anywhere you use it or get it from.
No, not at all on that. Legislature news: members of the Kentucky House of Representatives voted 94-0 to approve House Bill 463, which is legislation aimed at protecting minors from exploitation and exposure to obscene materials as a result of their social media presence. This would require social media companies and other digital service providers to make users register their age in order to create an account. The bill's provisions would require platforms and social media companies to create parental tools that allow a parent or guardian to control privacy settings, monitor use, and limit the amount of time their minor child spends on the platform. It will also require social media companies to limit the use and collection of identifying information and so on that goes along with that. I'm assuming both of you who have children, and Whitney, I would assume at least your oldest is he on social media yet, or he's probably getting close to the age where it is being requested,
He does not
right?
have he does not have his own yet. He has toyed around with the Snapchat, but I did not. That's, he does not have that because that's the one that scares me the most. But he gets on, he watches YouTube and all of that. But right now we do not have social media presence other than what I put on my social media. So, I mean, he's on social media, but he's on it because of me.
Yes, and I feel like, but he's probably getting closer and closer to the age where
Yes.
that's going to be a conversation that will have to be had. I'm sure you're probably
Absolutely.
for this is to keep it as safe as possible for him once that day does come.
I know. Oh gosh, I'm dreading it
And Christy,
already.
if we're being honest,
We're just not
Alea's-
doing it. We're
Alea's
just not
gonna be
doing
here
it,
bef-
Sam.
Alea's
I'm
coming
sorry.
as soon as you know it.
This conversation is not happening because she's not going to have social media.
She's on-
She's not going to.
Good luck trying to convince her of that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, of course. I mean, we will, we will cross that bridge when we get there. I have no idea what it's going to look like when she does get to the age that I have in mind. I know the age that we kind of all have collectively maybe decided as far as even a phone. So I don't know what the complexion of social media will be by that time.
Well, and I wonder too for that age group, like, Facebook is probably my primary source of social media and Instagram, but I can tell you that I don't think that that's going to be Jackson or even Caroline's. So I don't know what's
No,
coming.
because that's where old people are.
Exactly.
And
There are
I'm not
other
even like
places.
that's the like.
I mean, that's the case for Anna as well. I mean,
It's
she checks in on me because she knows that's all I'm going to use is Facebook.
Right.
She wants to see what I'm doing. But she's over here doing other things. I don't know what it is.
I've noticed
But, I mean,
that-
she's almost 22 years old. So.
even my high school crew. It's all Instagram. It's all. I mean
So-
that's what they use with that, and I'm like, and I feel it's like, oh, you darn kids. It's like you get on there and try out some of these other things. It's much better. I'm a Twitter guy, which I guess makes me sound like I'm an old man because I feel like
I was going to
that's
say,
just-
well, that has its own demographic too, Sam.
It is. It is.
does.
And yes, it does.
Mark is definitely Twitter.
Oh, and I enjoy Twitter. I don't tweet on Twitter, but I get on Twitter for information and for sports, but Facebook's my primary, and I do think that I would imagine that Snapchat is probably the main one for the kids, but I'm sure
Yes.
there's something else coming.
I feel like Snapchat is in its own like social media like corner because
Yeah.
it is.
Well, I will tell you,
You go
I
on.
enjoy using the filters with Alea. Now, so she knows about Snapchat, but we don't send or anything like that. We do all the filters and all the funny things and,
Yeah.
But
I will say this, my kids do, I will take that back. My kids have Facebook Messenger,
so does, yeah.
but that's a
It's a
that's a
totally-
communication device for the kids, and I monitor it, if that makes sense, because it's set up under
It's
my
a
account.
totally different thing. I
Yeah.
know exactly which one what you're talking about.
Tough night last
So-
night at the Owensboro Sports Center. The Lady Cougars, they had a tough draw. Drew the host Owensboro Catholic and fell 70-33 at the Owensboro Sports Center. Just a really tough. It was a tough draw, tough night. Sydney Perkins and Allie Jennings, give them a huge shout out as the two seniors. This Lady Cougar team has a very bright future, and as we talked with Coach Mack and Steven and I talked on the air last night, 2 years ago they won 3 games. Last year they won 11 games. This year they won 22 games. Like, they are trending in a very positive direction, and they have a lot to be very, very proud of. They just ran into a really, really good team on their home floor, too, and that's really tough.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say, I know you said they host a host, and that's a very polite way to put it, Sam.
I mean,
Yeah, I know. I have thoughts about it too, but we can talk about that off air.
I wish we had more time. And if we're being honest, I probably spent too much time last night ranting on it. But you know what? I was kind of in a grouchy mood at times last night. So that's just
Well,
how it
I
happens.
understand. But good job for the girls. Like I said, I've watched them. They're a young team, and I've watching them do well. It seems like they hit a stride at the end of the season, or towards the middle end of the season, and we're rocking and rolling.
14 straight wins. I mean, you win 14 straight, you're doing good things. It doesn't matter
That's
what
right.
you're doing. If you win 14 straight, good things are happening. Louisville lost last night. They lost their 6th straight, 80-64 against Virginia Tech. They're now 8-22. They're now turning their attention towards, they're going to host Boston College on Saturday, and then they're going to tip off the ACC tournament. They're going to play Tuesday at 4:30, probably against number 10 seeded NC State. So the Fighting Roger Lushes will take on Louisville on Tuesday. And then I found this story really interesting. I don't know that I can't say that I follow the Idiatrod dog sled race. That happens in Alaska
Oh, yeah.
every single year.
Iditarod?
Iditarod?
Iditarod.
I don't know how it's. I thought it was.
Iditarod, right?
See, I think it was.
That's the only way.
I don't know. The dog sled
Anyway.
race. I think everyone knows about in Alaska.
Yeah.
A participant was forced to shoot and kill a moose in order to protect himself and his dog team on Monday. This incident occurred around 100 miles into the 1,000-mile race course. The moose became entangled with the dogs and the musher on the trail. He ended up shooting the moose in self-defense and informed race officials of the incident around 1:45 a.m. on Monday. He had to drop one of his dogs from the race after the dog got injured. It was flown to Anchorage to receive veterinary care. But here's the interesting thing. According to rules, mushers are permitted to carry firearms for protection from wildlife, but are required to gut any big game animal they shoot in order for it to be salvaged. So he had to stop the race and gut the animal before. And I think at the time what I read, and it doesn't say it in this story, but I read it on somewhere else, that he was winning.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
So he was winning
my goodness.
and had to stop and gut the moose, which, Whitney, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how long that takes to gut a moose. I just know that a
I mean,
moose
they're
is
pretty good
It is
size.
a massive animal,
Yeah.
and I just found that story to be... gutting the
Yeah.
moose, and just imagine being winning, and you got to think that that is their Super Bowl, that is their Daytona 500,
Yes.
that is their
Right.
third region quarterfinals at the Owensboro Sports
Tour
Center.
de France.
It is all really important things for them, and it just so happened that things didn't.
But at the end of the
necessarily-
day, if his dog was injured, then,
yeah, you have to do what
you got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. You just think that they would have people that would almost follow that could have been able to take care of the rest of
Right.
them. We got to get to a break. We're going to come back and have more here on In the Know.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues the Rogers Funeral Home legacy. A steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwood. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogerswatkins.com or experience the Rogers difference personally on Main Street in Clarkson.
Everybody get ready, time to start a new day. Let's hit the ground running in a healthy way. Take a first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle. Fit as a fiddle on a July night. Walk around town, make you feel alright. Take the first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle.
Community Health Partners want you to be as fit as a fiddle.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start March 11th. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
So you're addicted to drugs, so you feel hopeless. It's like a never-ending hole that you can't get out of.
You lose touch with the real people who love you.
And you feel like you're just a burden on everybody that knows you. But what I'd like to tell you right now is that's not the case. Reach out. I promise you that your life can be turned around and something beautiful be created.
Kentucky is here to help you. Call 8338-KY-HELP or visit the website findhelpnowky.org to begin your journey to recovery. Paid for by the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy.
Football teams always get the call right, and you need to make the right call before you excavate. If you don't and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate, and you could be fined up to $1,250. So make the right call. Put safety first. Call 811 before you dig.
Touchdown! Oh my goodness!
This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
Your adventure awaits at the Kentucky Horse Park. Experience live horse presentations, meet retired racing legends, and get up close to unique breeds from around the world. Dive into equine history at the park's International Museum of the Horse. And for a truly immersive experience, get in the saddle for a scenic horseback ride. With activities for every age, the Kentucky Horse Park promises an unforgettable journey for all. Plan your trip by visiting kyhorsepark.com. That's kyhorsepark.com.
Monitoring employee communications isn't new, but the sophistication of analysis is getting an upgrade, all thanks to AI. AI is being integrated into common work-related software like Slack, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Meta's Workplace platform. Former executives of Twitter are suing Elon Musk for unpaid severance. The suit claims they are owed $128 million in compensation. The claimants accuse Elon Musk of repeatedly refusing to honor clear contractual commitments. Facebook and Instagram were down on Tuesday after the Meta platforms experienced an outage. Users that were attempting to log on to any of Meta's social media sites yesterday saw error messages. Other platforms impacted included Threads and Facebook Messenger. In a post on X, a Meta spokesperson said a technical issue caused people to have difficulty accessing some of their services. And iPhone sales in China are down 24%. According to Counterpoint Research, Apple faces stiff competition from rival Chinese smartphone companies. Tech Report, Mark May.
Misplaced the paper. There it is. It is Discovered What Your Name Means Day. It is Dentist's Day. Frozen Food Day. Shout out to that. It is Oreo Cookie Day. Stop Bad Service Day. It is Day of the Dude. Promoting the philosophy and lifestyle inspired by fictional character Jeffrey the Dude Lebowski. A.K.A. Shannon the Dude, right? Give a shout out to Shannon the Dude, too.
That's right.
Hopefully he'll be back. I know he's been gone the past couple of days. I think gone today.
He's sick, right?
So I was late. I know Matt had explained what had happened, and I was late getting in, and I only caught like the last 15 seconds of the explanation. So I just heard Shannon wasn't there. I never heard an explanation.
The only thing I heard was that he was in a show this weekend and that he got sick. So I don't know.
See, and I just heard he had to leave the show. So I guess I didn't hear the sick part, and that would probably make sense. Whitney Carmen and Christy are with me today. Whitney, is there anything going on at the Extension office that we need to know about?
Well, there is the soils class that I'm doing, I've got a specialist coming in tomorrow evening, and it starts at 5:30, and it's all about, understanding your soil test results and how to do fertilizer recommendations. And so it's going to be kind of basic, but great information. So if you're interested in that, please contact us today. Kendra has 4-H camp is going to be here before we know it, and I think things are getting full. So if you're going to want to do it, you need to let her know very, very quickly.
As Mimo would say, get on the stick.
Yeah.
Get on the stick.
I feel like one of the cabins are full already, but I don't know. I don't want to misspeak because I know it's either boys or girls, and I'm not sure.
I hope they get the updated girls cabin.
Yeah. There's been a lot of change at the camp, and it's been great.
Okay.
That's good. Right. That's good. I know Mark always likes to bring you the funniest tweets of the week from women. So I decided, you know what, let's drop this out, and I'll take a shot at it. I probably can't pull it off quite as good as he is because he's a polished professional, right? And I'm just the other guy, right?
The other guy.
The other guy. Marley writes in and says, February is like our junk drawer. Got an extra R you really don't need? Throw it in there. An extra day? Toss it into February. Whatever.
That's pretty good. Yes.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah. Little Bit writes in and says, imagine trying to explain to Alexander Graham Bell that in the future people will have a problem with staring at their phones all day.
Yeah. I do. We all do.
We all do. We all do. Riot Girl Aaron says, what could Monday possibly mean to a cat with no job and endless lasagna?
Oh, yeah. Garfield. Love me some Garfield.
Oh, yes. Shay Aaron says, it takes 16 muscles to turn over and fall back asleep. Follow me for more fitness tips.
And you know what? Sometimes taking that extra hour of sleep is more important than getting that hour of exercise. Believe me.
Absolutely. You feel better after that.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Fox, which is a good name, says, I don't really go for hot girl walks, but I do go for gremlin walks, where I leave the house looking like a train wreck and begrudgingly admit that the fresh air is helping me rediscover my will to live.
Yeah. I've been there a time or two.
Aaron writes in and says, once again it is 4 p.m., too early for a drink, too late for a coffee, and so I find myself roaming the streets, desperate to spend $8 on a mysterious third beverage.
Yeah. Real world
That
problems.
is an actual, that's a first world problem for sure.
First. There we go.
Midge says,
Yeah.
Midge says, dog snoring, adorable. Husband snoring, unacceptable.
That's correct. That is correct.
And the final one, Hey Mrs. Bond says, my mom once told me, there's some wrinkles you can't get out in the dryer. You need an iron. Today, I needed an iron. I wish I could tell her. My mom is very much alive, and we live in the same house. I just completely refused to let her know she was right about an iron.
Oh my goodness. I just usually don't purchase anything if it's going to have to be ironed.
Right.
That's my thing. Woo. Don't have time for that.
I do not iron. If it does not come out in the dryer, I don't wear it.
Let's thank goodness for wrinkle release.
Yes.
Yes, and those dryers. I didn't get to this story yesterday, but I felt like it. Dennis is not really an expert on these things anyway, so it's better to have two actual experts in on this because it is in more of the mom realm. More than 2,000 people have reacted, and over 1,000 have posted individual comments to a drama shared on social media by a mom of teenage triplets. So we're going to the I Am the Butthead forum on Reddit.
Okay.
She wrote that she's a single mother of triplet girls who are currently 15. She said that for their Sweet 16 birthdays, the girls want a big party with a DJ, a venue, and lots of invites. She noted that she usually, for their birthdays, she gives them $150 each to go out to dinner with friends and go to different restaurants and do pretty much you have $150, you do what you want to do with it. However, the mom added, this year the type of blowout parties the teens are asking for is not in her budget. A venue would be around $500, and with all the additional things like decorations, DJs, invites, food, it would be around $1,200 to $1,400, and that's the cheapest that we could do. The mom continued and said, I can afford that once, but they want 3 individual parties, which would be over $4,000.
No.
She said, I can't really afford $4,000 for birthdays, so I told them no. She asked on the platform if she was wrong for making my daughters share a birthday. It gets better. Offering further context, she also wrote, I could throw 3 smaller parties, but it would be a huge hassle deciding which of the teens gets to have the party on their actual birthdays. I can't plan 3 parties in one day. She said they have a lot of common family and friends. I was willing to do it anyway, but a smaller party means no venue, no DJ, cheaper food and drinks, and my daughters aren't okay with that. I've tried explaining to them that I can't afford it, but they just told me to get an extra job.
How about they get an extra job?
Okay, they're not getting a birthday party at all.
I was
going to
say, listen.
Okay, you might get a biscuit or something. You're not getting a cake. You're not like.
Whitney, what was it that you just said? What was it that you just said? You said.
I just can't.
How about they get?
Yeah, how about they get it? If my mother, if I did that, first of all,
Oh, right.
the amount of disrespect is that mama take care of that. Second of all, if you're gonna talk to me like that, then you can just kiss that goodbye, and I'll spend that $4,000 myself
On a cruise away from you.
Yes.
So that was actually something she brought up to her children and said, why don't you all get a weekend job? And she said, but that would mean less time with your friends, and they refused. At this point, she says, I put my foot down, and I've told them I won't spend past $1,200, and they need to find a way to celebrate within that budget. Now, the top response on Reddit says, you definitely messed up raising your daughters this way.
I mean,
Well,
I don't
like I
wanna-
said, my first thing is
I don't want to judge you, but I mean,
right.
it's
well,
not looking good for you.
my unfortunate okay, so the thought process that I have behind that is okay, I know girls can be extra, okay, so I understand that. However, if they, you've got to have that conversation with them of, listen, you're going to get what you can get, and you're not going to throw a fit about it. Sorry.
It is so disrespectful, which tells me that you have allowed this disrespect, and this is just a huge scale. I mean,
I think about if they get married, like that is, I didn't spend that much on my wedding, much less a 16th birthday party.
$4,000. I'm just like, I don't.
Thank you.
I read that and I felt like, you know what? I guess we needed a.
Does it say where? I don't guess it tells us where.
No, it specifically
but that's
said.
unfortunate.
It specifically said there is no answer as to where specifically this happened.
Because at what point is spending that much money on a 16th-year-old birthday party? Like, I don't know. I guess maybe I don't have one, and I don't know of anybody in my circle in the Tri-County area that I am in that would spend that much money on their child. But that's just
If anything, it would almost make more sense to say, hey, let's take that money and
put it back for a car.
Oh, you could do that, or even do something like where the four of us, the three daughters and mom, can go on a cruise or something like that. We
Yeah.
can go on a trip, and that will be your 16th birthday trip or something like that. But
Well, think about it in a county like this, okay? 3 16-year-old. I mean, wouldn't they have all the same friends anyway? So that's why I
sort of that,
question where, where. So all have the same friends, the same peer group, but you want separate parties
And the same family.
And I mean, it's strange. It's strange.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Okay.
just I read that
Sounds like girls
and
are being
was
a
like,
brat.
you
She
know
is
what?
definitely not the butthead.
No, I don't think anybody.
There are 3 buttheads in this situation, but she's not one of the
Yes,
3.
and it is definitely those 3 daughters. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, I've got some questions for you all to see if you can answer. We're gonna get your brains working a little bit as we get the show rolling again. That'll be coming up next here on In the Know.
Do you know what red flags to look for when considering an investment opportunity? Fraudulent sellers might make unsolicited contact, tell you everyone is buying it, and pressure you to invest right now. They make hefty promises over the phone, but never put them in writing. At the Department of Financial Institutions, we have a saying. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're on a mission to educate Team Kentucky and protect your hard-earned dollars. Visit us online at kfi.ky.gov for more information.
Alexa Rastigue was a student at Bellarmine University. When she got the call, no one wants to receive.
A drunk driver was driving under the influence, going 127 miles per hour.
He caused a crash, killing 2 and severely injuring Alexa's mother and brother.
He left that scene without a scratch, while my family suffered.
Drive sober, Kentucky, because drunk driving is a dead end.
Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Your adventure awaits at the Kentucky Horse Park. Experience live horse presentations, meet retired racing legends, and get up close to unique breeds from around the world. Dive into equine history at the park's International Museum of the Horse. And for a truly immersive experience, get in the saddle for a scenic horseback ride. With activities for every age, the Kentucky Horse Park promises an unforgettable journey for all. Plan your trip by visiting kyhorsepark.com. That's kyhorsepark.com.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes Weather.
Cloudy this afternoon with areas of drizzle and a few spotty showers left over. Highs in the upper 50s and the low 60s. We'll keep the clouds. We'll keep some drizzle around for tonight with temperatures down into the 40s. Cloudy, drier tomorrow. Highs in the upper 50s and low 60s before we see more rain on Friday. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know sign language has tongue twisters as well? They are referred to as finger fumblers.
That's cool. That is interesting.
Whitney, Carmen, and Christy are with me here today, and are you all ready to kind of test your brains a little bit? I've got a list here of some riddles, and if you all want to decide and compete against one another, or you all can try and come and put your heads together and figure these out yourself. I'll let you all decide as to which one you want. Do you want a competition, or do you want to
We'll just
tag
see
team?
how it rolls,
Okay.
but we'll probably tag. Are you
Okay.
doing a tag team
Yeah,
today?
let's do it.
Yeah, me
Let's
too.
go.
Okay.
They're going to tag team. Okay, the first one. And feel free to play along at home as well. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Hold on. The more you take.
You got one, Christy?
No.
Nothing?
No. The more you take, the more you.
That
leave
is footsteps.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking
Okay.
something along those lines, something.
I don't
that
know
you're-
if our brains are quite up to this,
Well,
this
well,
morning.
we're gonna
Let's
have to
try
get it.
again.
We're
Let's
gonna
try
get it,
again.
yeah.
Okay.
By the
Okay.
time
All right.
we've got
Okay.
five of these. By the fifth one, I got
Okay.
confidence.
All right.
Before
Okay.
Mount Everest was discovered, what was the highest mountain on Earth? Before Mount Everest was discovered, what was the highest mountain on Earth?
Kilimanjaro?
Helena, what?
Kilimanjaro?
Did either of us say it?
Mount Everest.
Oh.
Before Mount Everest was discovered, what was the highest mountain on Earth? Mount Everest, because it was
Oh, never-
still technically there. What is
Yeah,
Sam.
that's true.
I'm telling you, the fog is heavy in here.
Well, we're going to break through this fog. What is black when you buy it, red when you use it, and gray when you throw it away? What is black when you buy it, red when you use it, and gray when you throw it away? This one I would not have gotten.
Oh, well, you're not giving me any help then.
Charcoal.
Black?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
What is that? What is it that when you take away the whole, you still have some left over? What is it that when you take away the whole, you
Donut?
still have some left over?
A donut?
A donut,
Yeah.
right?
Is it a
Wholesome.
donut?
You still have a donut.
I guess.
Yeah, you do.
Technically.
But yeah, okay, that makes
You
sense.
you all can get
See where we're
this.
going.
You all can get this one. I have faith.
Oh.
Larry's father had 3 sons: Snap,
Okay.
Crackle, and Whom.
Pop.
Larry's father had 3 sons: Snap, Crackle, and Whom.
Larry.
There you go. Good job. Look at that, Larry.
Yeah.
Right?
Couldn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Larry's father had 3
Wasn't
sons. Yeah.
And
Larry.
see, I wish I had a button here. Is this? I don't know. I don't have any buttons here. I have a bunch of random ones. There you go. That's the one that's right. We'll give you a Roadrunner. I've just got a bunch of random ones that I didn't compile at all. They're just on here. There you go. So congratulations. There you go. You got that one.
Good job.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yes, it's good. We're good for something there. So again, I thought those were kind of challenging with that.
Yeah, especially when my brain is only working half speed today.
But hey,
Yes.
we gotta start to get it rolling a little bit more, right?
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
We
if-
need this weather to change.
Yeah.
Yes. Amen to that. If you want to feel bad for somebody today, you got to feel bad for Elon Musk because he's no longer the richest person in the world.
Oh no.
Jeff Bezos took him back over. Musk now only at $198 billion, where
bless his
Bezos is at
heart.
$200 billion. He's
Darn.
lost about $31 billion. Bezos has gained about $23 billion in the last year. I mean, what? Just how bad do you feel for him? I mean, he only has $198 billion.
Well,
Not at all.
I wonder how much of that taking over X put him in the hole.
Well, he has lost a lot of money this year. He's lost $31 billion over the past year, is what it says here. Are either one of you all Big Bang Theory or Young Sheldon fans?
I used to watch The Big Bang Theory, yes.
So CBS has formally ordered a spin-off of Young Sheldon now that will focus on Georgie, Sheldon's older brother, and his fiancée Mandy as they raise their young family in Texas. It's a straight-to-series order was expected after the deals closed. It has been in the works since January.
And that'll be a different perspective because
Yes,
Young
it will.
Sheldon is very,
Yes, it will. Mark has finished up or is finishing, however that is playing out, Young Sheldon. I quit on it, but I can see how the spinoff would be good.
I laughed the other night. Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't watched Big Bang Theory in quite a while, and it was on after the news one evening, and I was like, man, I really, really liked this show at the time, but now I don't know that I would watch it.
Yes, I loved The Big Bang Theory.
Remember, I guess this was either Monday or maybe late last week or something, we told you that the Sopranos iconic booth was being sold on eBay. Well, it got sold for $82,600. And Christy, I just ask you, is that where Mark is? Is he headed to pick it up right now?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know that he's not.
I mean, I certainly, I don't know.
Where is the booth gonna fit right there behind you or something in the?
Maybe
there's plenty of room right here.
Yeah, there's plenty of room.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I guess maybe that's what he is. Maybe he's headed up there. He's driving the truck up to throw the booth in the back seat, and it'll be here before you know it. With that, as I'm trying to, the system that I'm using to play the music, it resets every 10 minutes. So right now I'm just trying to kill time, a little inside baseball, until I can do this and hit some music to send us into break. As when we come back, we'll have the Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, and more to wrap up the show here on this March the 6th edition of In the Know.
A friend and I were talking about an elderly woman he talked to after he dialed a wrong phone number. She said, "I live alone and don't have anyone to talk to. Can we chat for a few minutes?" My friend agreed, and they had a lovely conversation. That woman was not unique. Nearly half of Americans say they struggle with feelings of isolation. Loneliness takes an enormous psychological, physical, and financial toll on millions of people. Rates of depression, heart disease, and stroke are significantly higher in those without strong social bonds. The cost to taxpayers runs in the billions of dollars. Our need for relationship is wired into our DNA. Connection is so important to our well-being that we create artificial versions of it. Things like emails, texting, even social media and video conferencing. As wonderful as those tools are, they only simulate relationship. They can't replace person-to-person connection. People who enjoy deep, meaningful relationships live an average of 4 years longer and are healthier and happier than those without a thriving social life. Connection helps us to live with a greater sense of meaning and purpose. In an age of social distancing, remember that you are designed for close, personal, face-to-face interaction with other human beings. As someone once said, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. For more to help you thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Do you know what red flags to look for when considering an investment opportunity? Fraudulent sellers might make unsolicited contact, tell you everyone is buying it, and pressure you to invest right now. They make hefty promises over the phone, but never put them in writing. At the Department of Financial Institutions, we have a saying. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're on a mission to educate Team Kentucky and protect your hard-earned dollars. Visit us online at kfi.ky.gov for more information.
Hey guys, it's Ashley. Sorry I missed your call. Please leave me a message.
That's Ashley's voice that I hear. That's the only thing that the drunk driver has left me with.
Teresa Martinez will never forget the morning a police officer and a coroner showed up at her door.
And he placed my daughter's necklace and my daughter's ring in my hand. And that's when I knew that my daughter was gone.
Drive sober, Kentucky, because drunk driving is a dead end.
Paid with funds to the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
My point to ponder for today, for you, Whitney and Christy, what is an awful movie that you absolutely love?
I think Clue is probably mine. I think most people would say that that is a very odd, weird, but I absolutely love the movie Clue.
I guess it's up to personal discretion, but some people don't think that Twister is a very good movie, but I love it, and I watch it every time it's on.
So are you excited for Twisters or whatever the sequel
I
is?
am. Yes, I am, very much so. I saw something the other day that the American Pie movies did not age well, and so people are talking about how terrible they are. Well, I like them. So.
I like them too.
See, I don't
like them too.
I don't know that one didn't necessarily come to mind directly for me, but I'm also not a movie guy.
Like I'm not a huge movie person.
I don't watch. I know, like all the time, especially Ken. Here, he'll always be like, "Oh, have you seen?" And I'm like, "Ken, you know this." 98% chance the answer is no. I have not seen that movie. No, I have not. On TV tonight, The Masked Singer on Fox season 11 premiere is today. Do you all consume that?
Caroline still will watch it. She records it and watches it from time to time, yeah.
Okay.
She's still into that a little bit.
Christy, are you excited for Survivor on CBS?
Oh, well, the answer should be yes, but the answer is not really. I mean, it's appointment TV, not appointment TV. It is something that we typically watch together, and I am so busy right now that I wish it were like maybe a week or two start, later. You know what I mean? Like, so yes and no.
And see, I want to say that I watched like half of one season of Survivor with my parents because I remember it was a guy named like Richard or something, and he was like a villain. This is a guy, and this has probably been 10, maybe 15 years ago, and he was, I know, a huge Richard or something like that. He was a huge character, and you either loved him or you hated him, but I think even the people that hated him had to love him because he played the game and so on.
Yeah,
but
no clue.
I don't know.
Yeah, I never watched Survivor, not a single episode, so that's not something I'm into.
No, I don't.
But there are, they're the ride or dies out there, like you guys that do watch it, so.
Oh, yeah, they do it all the time.
I don't know when we started watching Survivor, but I think he watched it before I joined in.
Is that where Mark is? Is he on this season of Survivor?
Maybe. I mean, he's, I don't know.
He better win if he goes.
Well, he would be gone a lot longer, Sam, if he were to win, so do we really want that? I'd like the money.
I mean,
but here we are.
We don't want a loser back on this show, though, do we?
That's true. That's true.
And plus, the longer he's on, the more stories he'd have to tell, because I'm sure that there would be quite a few stories. I don't know that he'd be allowed to share, but
I was going to say, I'm sure they have a
there's some kind
non-disclosure
of
disclosure.
Like that, and then Christy, you're our TLC expert, I know, on the show. So it's it's the
That's
season
fair,
12 premiere of My 600-Pound Life. Do you watch this?
Okay, I do not.
This is the ones in like Webster County or Union County, right?
Oh, I don't know. I think you're right. I do think you're right.
Or no,
is
those
that
are the
600-pound sisters.
Those are the 1,000-pound sisters.
Yeah,
Okay, this is
that's
just
right.
this is just something else. Okay.
Okay.
So for those of you that are excited about that, good for you. Go ahead and watch it. Today's
I'll
highlight
probably
history.
watch the UK game.
Yes, Kentucky does play today, late game against Vanderbilt. Today's highlight in history: on this date in 1857, in the U.S. Supreme Court in Dred Scott versus Sanford ruled 7-2 that Scott, a slave, was not an American citizen. On this date in 1836, the Alamo fell in San Antonio. Very disappointing. If you ever
Have
go
you
there.
ever seen that in person?
Yes, very disappointing.
It is very small.
Yes, and it's in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I went in, to say I went in with no expectations is an understatement. Like, none.
Right.
But I was expecting us to, like, roll out to this field and it be this majestic, like, no, it's literally
No.
like you're just driving
It's got
through downtown
shrubbery
San
around it.
Antonio and it's like, oh, that's the Alamo?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. On this date in
No,
1912, Oreos were first introduced.
That's why it's National Oreo Day then.
There we go. Look at you put two and two together. In 1964, Cassius Clay officially changed his name to Muhammad Ali. So, Christy, as Mark would say, are you gonna, if we're talking about, if Cassius Clay changed his name to Muhammad Ali, he'd probably have to drop the Mama call him Clay, I'ma call him Clay, right?
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
In 1981, Walter Cronkite signed off for the last time as the anchorman of the CBS Evening News. And the state in 2016, Nancy Reagan died in Los Angeles at the age of 94. Birthdays. Former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan is 98. Rock musician Hugh Grundy from the Zombies is 79. David Gilmour from Pink Floyd is 78. Rob Reiner is 77. Tom Arnold is 65. Shaq is... How old do you think Shaq is, Whitney? Do you got a guess?
48, 50.
52.
56.
I was going to say,
52. Jake Arrieta is 38. Tyler, the Creator, is 33. And not that he's watching, but my little brother is 24 today. So happy birthday to him. Not
happy
that he's,
birthday.
Not that he's watching. He's probably doing something better with his life, hopefully. He might be sleeping or going to class or doing something along the lines with that. But again, my chart toppers, it doesn't particularly work for this.
Okay.
I know that, Christy, we may be here tomorrow. We may not. I know that that's still kind of up in the air. So hopefully we'll be here.
Good.
But if
So
not,
you know. All right.
that's all
Or
I know.
don't.
That's all I know. It is a maybe, and
Okay, so,
and
all
we'll
right.
find out at some point. But Whitney, we appreciate you coming in today, and I don't know if you're here next week, but we'll see you soon, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm out next week, but the week after I'm back. So.
Well, we look forward to seeing you.
Yep.
Heck, well, next time you're here, it's March Madness.
I know.
Oh, wow.
I'd fill out those brackets.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you're probably gonna take all our pride again. I think Mark won last year, but you.
Mark won last year, yeah.
I still say
he broke
cheat.
my
But you
streak.
put up a fight.
I
Yes.
did.
He cheated, I think, or something like that. Life is too short for fake butter, cheese, or people. That's my pearl of wisdom for today. Life is too short for fake butter, cheese, or people. That'll wrap up our show for today. We'll see you back here next time for another edition. For Whitney Carmen and for Christy Buckles, I'm Sam Gormley. Guess what? Now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun.